Hello guys, welcome to NameTech channel. My name is Nehemiah and I'm very happy to have you on board. This is lesson 11 on Django and we are going to talk about the query sets. But then before we begin, please take a minute, subscribe, like and share the video to your friends if you have not done so. And to the returning subscribers, I really appreciate you very much for your continuous support. Now guys, basically in this tutorial I've added extra extensions that help me to code much easier. So just go to the extension, then type in Django, and then guys, basically download all these stuffs here. You can see we have also the Django snippets. Also you can download these stuffs here. It helps you to code much easier when you have these a snippet. These are extension on your code editor. Basically this a Django text editor. But then for now guys, basically let's begin by first understanding what is query sets. Now guys, basically a query set is a collection of data from a database, and is built up as a list of objects. And the query sets make it easier to get data you actually need just by allowing you to filter and order the data that basically to order the data at an early stage. So guys, basically you remember we created a module called member, and basically in this tutorial we'll be querying data from that member module or a member table. And so first of all, let's begin by first querying data. Now guys, basically we created an extra view, so it is the members, and then the views, and then guys, let me first of all close this extension, this explorer here, and then guys, in the previous lecture or lecture 9, basically we created this extra view here for testing our code. And then here what I'm gonna do guys, here let me add in some extra data here so that we may query data from the member model. Now first of all, let's create a variable. Perhaps let me call it my data. Then let me assign it to what? Let me assign it to the member model, member dot objects dot objects dot all. Now when it shows you some highlights here, just click tab, then it will complete for you. And then what we do guys, also let's create another what. Now guys, basically when you have these method here, these are all method, basically it will help us to get all the records in the fields of the member model or a member table. Now let's create now the context here, the object, and by typing let me use a context, then let me assign it to what? Let me assign it to, basically let me change it here to my member. Let me change it to my members. You realize that we have my member here, so let me use my members so that it may not collide. And then also guys, here the render, let me add in what, so that it may render also the context, basically the template, the context, and also what, the request, and then guys, what we are gonna do now, let's navigate to the template.html. Now let's go to the templates, and then templates.html, and then in this template guys, first of all let me minimize this, explore, and then here what I do, guys, let me create what, let me create basically what I want to do here is to to generate the content into our template.html tag. So while you are here, let's create first of all a table. Let's create a table here by using first of all the table row. First of all, we must use the table to define that this one is a table. And then let's also create the border for the table, border, and then in this border, let me give it let me assign it to, perhaps let me give it even 1. Let me give it a border of 1. Then I do what, remember to close. Then also let's create for the closing tag for the border, for the table, sorry, it should be table. Then let me just type in let me type in what, table, table like this, and then I do what close. And then what is, let's create also the, let's also create the what, the table head by typing what t, basically it should be table row first of all, table row, and then table row, and then also let's create the closing tag for the table row. First of all, open and close the tr for closing the table row. And then guys, here let's do it. Let's create the table data, the table td, and then what we do, sorry, should be the closing tag for the table should be table head. Should be, let's begin with the table head first of all, and then in this table head, first of all, let me use the id, the first column, and then close the table head. And then what we do is let me duplicate these stuffs. Perhaps let me make it size for, because you have the first name, let me call it a first name, and then this one, let me use a last name, and then guys, here at the end of this table row, let me also do it. Let me import the those Django. Let me use Django tags here to import that module. First of all, let me type in what, open and close the braces, and then here type in a %. And then guys, you see now the goodness of using those extensions. You don't have to code a lot, you just auto-complete for you. And then here let me type in for what, for x in what, in my members. It was my members, right? My members should be my members, not members. My members. And then once you have that, then also do at least guys, basically you can see, sorry, you can see guys, when you just open and close this, when you just type in the the less than a break tag, actually anchor tag, it just give you the snippet, and you just click on tab, it just complete for you. You don't have to code a lot. So now this is the goodness of working with those extensions. And then what is here, guys, let's now enter the for loop by typing what, by typing end for. Ensure that you have the opening and the closing tag for the for the braces. There's also the percentage, 2%, and then inside it type in end for. So guys, let's navigate to our project directory. Sorry, should be Control and E to open the file explorer. Then mine is at the desktop. Then let me type in cmd, or basically you can just go to your terminal and then use cd. But then this way is much easier. I find it easier. Then what you do here, let me activate the virtual environment by typing scripts / activate, should be activate. Sorry, it should be activate.bat. Is it correct? Script.activate.bat. Yeah, it's correct. Then let's activate the virtual. Actually, let's now run the server by typing py.manage .py, then run server, and then what I do, let me copy the URL. And then let me copy. Then let me go to the browser. And then what I do, let me just paste it there. And then this one is testing view. We use the testing view. And then guys, basically let me zoom in. And then guys, basically you can see that we have done what we have generated the content for the object, for the members, my members object. And then guys, you can see it is kind of very, very beautiful. So guys, let me now show you something else. Let's talk about on how to get data. Now guys, basically there are different methods to get data from a model into your query set, into a query set. Now the first one is the values method. Now guys, basically the values method allows you to return each object as a Python dictionary with the names and values as key and value pairs. And so what I do guys, to do that in these views, we were in the templates. Now ensure that you are in the views, and then I hear the views guys. What you're gonna do? Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's add in here. Let's add in this method here called values. Values, and then open in and close. And just type in open and close, and then what we do guys, let's go to the template .html. Let's go to the template .html, and then let's do it. Go to this templates.html, and then guys, let me here at the top use perhaps a paragraph, a p tag. Just type in a p, and then a closing tag for p, and then let me use some lorem text, lorem perhaps a 10, so that it may generate, or let me use 5, or let me just say the query set, the query set what objects, the query set objects, then the closing tag for paragraph, then let's close the paragraph, and then here what we are gonna do now, let's use this dictionary. Actually this is a variable. Let's now use the variable here, and then perhaps let me say first of all open and close the braces, then here, and let me say what, let me type in my members, and then perhaps let me say, let me add in a basically let me add in a p tag, p, and then let me say loop through the items, loop through the items, the items, then let me close what, and let me close the is it what is the the paragraph tag. And then guys, what you do guys, let's try to do it. Let's refresh the browser. I think the server is still running, still functioning, so let's try to do it. Refresh. Let's try to refresh, and then guys, basically let me zoom out a bit, and then guys, basically this is how you can do it. This is how you can return each object as a Python dictionary with the names and values, as key and values, as you can see here. So guys, let's now talk about how to return specific columns if you just want to return the specific columns. Now guys, basically in that case we are going to use the values underscore list method, which allows you to return only the columns that you specify. Now let's go to the views again. Let's go to the views, and then here the views, what you are going to do guys, here let's do it. Let's add in another method. Let me remove these are all, then let me use values underscore list method, and then perhaps if you want to specify, you want to return only the first name, you just say a first name. Sorry, should be perhaps let me just say a first name. Let's just try to refresh the browser, and then see. First of all, ensure that your server is running. Then what you do to the browser, let's refresh, and then guys, basically this is how you can do it. This is how you can just this is how you can you can return only the columns, perhaps the first column, if you wish. Now let me now talk about on how to return specific rows. Now guys, basically you can filter the search to only return specific rows or records by using the filter method. Now what you do, let's now change from And let's change what? Let's change what? Let's change to the views. Let's change it to another. Let me change it to filter. Let me change it to filter. Then I'm gonna filter. Sorry, should be braces. It should be rounded brackets. Filter and then first name. Perhaps let me see first name. First name. First name. Then let me assign it to perhaps someone like let me use let me find the list. Let me say let me just type in Abigail. I think Abigail is available. Abigail. I'm not sure, but then let me try to check. Abigail, I think it's available. Abigail, and then what you do, the values. Let me say type in dot values so that it may filter the values. Values are like this. Ensure that you have this empty tuple, and then guys, here it should be Abigail, right? Not Abigail. It should be Abigail, like Abigail. Then let's go to the browser. First of all, ensure that always the server is up and running before you refresh, otherwise you'll have the error. Then let's refresh, and then guys, basically you can see this is how you can do it. This is how you can find only the first what. Actually, you can get the data of just a particular particular record or a row. So guys, let me talk about this query set filter. And the filter method is used to filter your search and allows you to return only the rows that matches the search term. And guys, as you've seen here, we can filter on field names like what we have just did here. But then if it were in SQL, the above statement will be something like let me just show you. Basically, we are not writing in SQL, but then let me just show you what it will look like. First of all, let me make it a comment so that it may not have any effect. If it were in SQL, we just type in select, and then asterisk, and then from members, and then where close, and then tab, and then first name, and then you're gonna assign your first name perhaps if it were Abigail, I'll just type in Abigail. If it were in SQL. So guys, let me talk about the AND now. Guys, basically the filter method takes the argument is quads, that is keyword arguments. So you can filter on more than one field just by separating them by a comma. And so perhaps if I can show you that, basically if I can show you that on our codes. Basically we are in the text editor already here, but then here guys, let me just show you if it were to write here, we are gonna use just we are gonna use what, these are last name, perhaps you gave it Abigail, then you're gonna add in some other arguments like let me say we can add in another quirks. Now guys, basically when you see these are quirks, these stand for keyword arguments, and then you can type in perhaps the ID, the ID, and then perhaps you can give it perhaps ID2, and then guys, basically this is how you can do it. This is how you can do that. Now what you do guys, if it were in a SQL, you could just use the AND. Perhaps what I do, let me just show you. This statement in SQL, it will be this way, but then now you are going to add the AND. AND in capital should be AND, then the ID remain ID, and then assign it to the 2 if it were 2, and then you close it. This colon if it were in SQL. So guys, let me talk about the OR. And guys, basically to return record where first name perhaps is. Let me go to my browser. And zoom out a bit. Guys, if you want to either return the first name being Abigail or this last name or Cherotich, mean that to return records that matches either the query, not necessarily both. That can be, it's not easy, as the AND is this AND example that I've just shown you here. So okay, so basically we can use a multiple filter method separated by a pipe, a character, and then the result will merge into one model. So what I do is let me show you that so that you may understand much better. Now in this model here, in this my data variable, we're going to use this pipe, then we are going to type in members.objects.model. This pipe is just a backslash, a vertical slash for doing what, for adding several models here. Then here first name, again I can say perhaps Cherotich. Should be assign it to not Abigail, because I have used Abigail here, so here it should be Cherotich, right? Let me say Cherotich. Basically it will merge them into one model. So Cherotich, let me just be sure, and then do it close, and then and the end guys, remember to do it to add in the values, like that. Now guys, before we refresh, ensure that the server is up and running. Yeah, it's working. And then what you do, let's go to the browser again, and then what you do guys, let's refresh. And then guys, basically you can see it merges, it merges the results into one model. So guys, basically that's how you can return where the first name is either Cherotich Abigail or a Cherotich with the OR. Now guys, basically another common method is to import and use the Q expression, expressions. Now let me show you guys that. Now go to your views, and then here we are gonna do what, we are gonna use the Q expression here, and then instead of what we do guys, here the filter, and then here let me add in what that let me add in that expression here, the Q. Just type in a Q like this, and then here ensure that not really, it should be just type in Q, and just type in here what, here just type in what, just type in a Q like that, like this. Then first name, perhaps give it first name, then I give it to your Abigail, and then what you do, instead of now the ID, we are gonna change it to we are gonna remove it. And then guys, here also let's do it, let's now do it, let's remove what these tabs, and then let me just remove this entire code. Then here let me use what Q again, then our first name, let's give it a Cherotich like this, and then what you do, let's do it, let's close like this, and then what you do, let's now say dot values, now dot values, but then here guys, let me remove also here these are dot values, dot values. So guys, basically we can use this Q expression to do the same stuff the way you can see here. So what we do guys, let's do it. First of all, we forgot to import, we must import the module here at the top. So let me say from Django dot basically Django dot db dot models import Q. We are going to import Q expression, and then now for it to work better, then guys, once you have this course here, then now we are up and running. So let's refresh the browser, and then guys, you can see it still works. So guys, if it were in SQL, we could use this code. We could use basically we could type in what first name Abigail, and then here we'll use OR. Just type in OR if it were in SQL, then type in a first name. Sorry, should be a first name. First name. Then here you're gonna use now your Cherotich. Cherotich. It will still work. So if it were in and then you always remember to close. If it were in SQL. So guys, let me talk about the field lookups in a few. Django has its own way of specifying SQL statement and where clauses. Now to make specific where clauses in Django, we use the field lookups. And field lookups are keywords that represent a specific SQL keywords. Guys, I'm not going to show you that. You can find all that on our on our website. You are gonna find all those tags on our website. But then for now guys, let me talk about the order by. So guys, let's now finish with the order by. Now guys, to sort query sets, Django uses the order by method. Like guys, let me show you an example. Perhaps if you want to order alphabetically. So what you're gonna do guys, here are the views. First of all, let me do it. Let me remove these these stuffs here. Let me just remove, and then here I'm gonna say what. Let me say dot all, and then an empty tuple, and then here I'll type in what dot order. Just type in order, order by, and then what you're gonna do, type in the first name here. Let me type in first name. We're targeting the first name, and then what you do guys, let me do it. Let me type in dot values, and then open it and close this empty tuple, and then guys, basically what you're gonna do, and let's try you what. Let's basically this one will order the result alphabetically, just by first name. These are when you type in these codes. Let's try to check it out. Let me refresh. Refresh, and then guys, basically you can see it does what it orders our first our data with the first name. You can see the ID has changed here a bit, but then you can see it is Abigail, Eliud, Gideon. It just did it in alphabetical order. If it were in SQL, let me show you that. If you are writing these as statements in SQL, you could use these are codes here. You could just change from members, select members, and then not now from, you should say order by, and then a first name, then I just close. If it wants SQL, you can see. Now if you want to do it to order by in a descending order, guys, basically by default the result is sorted ascending, but that is the lowest value, value first. To change the direction to descending, basically from the highest value first, we use the minus sign note, basically in front of the field name. So what I'm gonna do guys, let me just change it to, or you just make it a minus there, and then guys, remember for me, I don't save because I added the auto save to my files, and then you can see auto save is checked. That's why I don't struggle to save my stuffs. But then I go to your browser and then refresh, and then guys, you can see now it goes in an opposite manner. You can see Ronald is the last in the alphabetical order, and then Abigail now, which was the first, is now the last. So if it was SQL, you could add this statement. These are clause here called this in caps. Just type in this like this, descending, like this, and then it will do what, it will work, and then not close like this. So guys, let me talk about the multiple order bys. Now, to order more than one field, you have to separate the field names with a comma in the order by method. Like in this case, in this first name here, I'm gonna add in another item here. Perhaps let me say a negative ID. Let me say a negative. Sorry, first of all, it should be inside the should be inside these quotation marks. And then perhaps let me say negative ID. Here let me just say what. Let me just remove this negative. Then here let me use a negative ID. And then what I do, guys, let me let me refresh the codes. And then guys, basically this is how you can use multiple order bys. So guys, basically this is all about the query sets that I wanted to show you in this tutorial. And I think guys, you've gained something. You can find the reference to this tutorial on our website, that is nametech.com, then /Django, then navigate to the query set page, and then you're gonna have this tutorial there. But then for now guys, this is what I wanted to show you, and I think you've gained something. Please now consider subscribing, like, and share the video to your friends. Until next time, this is Nehemiah. Goodbye.